Yo, 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 what's good? What's good? It's your boy Kevin with Behind the Bench, man. Big shout out to everyone out there, man. Hope y'all doing well. Hope y'all blessed. Shout out to all the new subscribers, man. Salute to y'all. Salute to other guys in the group, JB, Rashad, Kobe Bryant Film Room. Y'all sub up to his page, and Big Dog Talk Sports. Y'all check out his page and sub up to him. All right, I want to talk about this whole thing with Isiah and Michael Jordan real quick. As we know, a couple years ago, the Last Dance documentary came out, and Michael Jordan had some things to say about Isiah Thomas. He called him an a-hole, and it went to the whole thing about Isiah walking off the court and the whole Dream Team deal. And ever since that Last Dance documentary, every chance Isiah Thomas gets, every interview, every podcast he goes on to be trashing Michael Jordan, and he be telling a bunch of lies. And so one of the main lies he's been telling over the years about the whole thing of walking off on the Chicago Bulls in 1991, he tries to explain it and make excuses for it, referencing back to 3 years earlier when they beat the Boston Celtics in 1988. So in 1988, Game 6, they were in Detroit. They finally beat the Celtics. They had lost to them in 1985, and they lost to them in 1987. In 87, they were a better team. But Isiah Thomas choked in Game 5, and he choked in Game 7. And they blew that series. A tough series, a great series. If y'all haven't seen it, check it out. And they lost. So they played them in 88. The Celtics were older. They were dealing with a bunch of injuries. Robert Parrish was dealing with ankle injuries. DJ, Dennis Johnson was dealing with injuries. And I believe Danny Ainge. And so Game 6 in Detroit, they finally got over the hump. Well, there's a video clip, this gentleman, this YouTuber, I'm not sure his name, but the link will be in the description. Y'all can check it out. And what he does, he clips up the end of Game 6. And what it does, it exposes the lies of Isiah Thomas. Isiah said, oh man, the Celtics did the same thing to us. They just got up and walked off. You know, this is how things was, man. Well, when you watch this clip, you'll see that's a lie. But before I do that, I'm gonna let you hear what Isiah, this was a couple years after he walked off with the Bulls. He did an interview. It's just a little short video clip, and I'm gonna come back.
Carrying over that way, or was that a calculated statement?
Well, let's clarify two things. And I want you to get the tape and run it back and watch it.
We'll probably run it in this interview.
I didn't lead the walk-off. There were several people in front of me.
Did you walk along the bench and say, let's go? Did you put the notion in their minds?
I don't know what happened, but I know I didn't lead the walk-off. But if it has to do with the Detroit Pistons and it's good or bad, I'll take it. So if I led it, I led it. But let me say this to you. We didn't do anything any different than the Celtics did, or the Lakers did, or anybody else did. After championship games, I don't remember teams going shaking hands. This is just me. Maybe I missed something somewhere. Now, am I a sore loser? Yes, I am a sore loser.
Okay. There's a clip of him on the interview he did with Bob Costas, and he's going through. And he says out of his own mouth, he doesn't remember a team shaking hand or whatever, and we didn't do anything different than what the Celtics and the Lakers did to us, and all that type of stuff. All right. So I'm going to play a little bit of this Game 6 in 1988, and you'll hear the audio clip. It's Dick Stockton and Billy Cunningham. And they're talking about the Celtics and why they walked off the court. And you'll also hear them talk about Kevin McHale. And Isiah is just an effing liar, man. Let me let you play it. It's a little low, but I'm trying to play it as loud as possible. And you'll hear yourself.
Court is littered with cameramen and other people, fans getting on there. We still have 3 seconds remaining, and now the players are trying to tell the cameramen to leave, and the Celtics starters and those not playing are leaving the floor now.
Possibly for safety reasons. Feeling with this crowd, and it's a long walk to the locker rooms, that with this crowd getting on the court, someone could get hurt.
McHale and Thomas. What a picture that is.
That's what it's all about.
Good luck against the Lakers, I'm sure, is what McHale is telling the Pistons.
Kevin McHale.
Okay, so as you heard there, Billy Cunningham and Dick Stockton, they're explaining to you what is going on. And when you see the video clip, you'll see the Celtics starters, they were getting up, they were walking off the court. It was 3 or 4 seconds left in the game. They were doing it for safety reasons. And when you see the video clip, you'll see the fans, they're all excited. Some of them even start rushing the court. See, younger fans, a lot of y'all don't know. Let me explain to you. Back in the 80s, when a team won the championship or they beat a rival and it was a big moment, what would happen back then is the fans would rush the court. And so that is what's happening here at this game. The Detroit Pistons, Game 6 in '88, they're finally getting past their nemesis, the Celtics. And so the fans are excited. They're finally going to the finals or whatever, and they're starting to rush the court. But there is a dead ball situation. And during this situation, the Celtics starters are walking off the court. Now, they have injuries. Larry Bird dealing with some stuff with his back. Kevin McHale. DJ was dealing with ankle injuries. And I know Robert Parrish was dealing with injuries. So it is not a disrespectful thing. It is a safety thing because the fans are rushing the court. And when you watch this video clip, after the game is over, you'll see the fans running on the court. And also, what they said here is Kevin McHale spoke to Isiah Thomas. He shook his hand. He said, hey, man, don't be happy to get to the finals. Go there and win it. He showed class, dignity, and respect, even in defeat. It was no disrespect. It wasn't just getting up, walking off the court in a disrespectful way. So what Isiah Thomas is saying and what he has been saying is a flat-out lie. He even said it himself. I'm going to let you hear this quick audio clip. Now, this is before the 1989 finals. Isiah Thomas himself is talking about the conversation that he had with Kevin McHale the year prior when Kevin McHale is walking off the court. Let's hear it.
Kevin said something to me last year walking off the court when we beat Boston. He said, don't be happy just to be there. You know, go and win it. I heard what he said. I listened and I understood, but I really didn't understand until now that we're back in it again. I understand now.
So, that's Isiah Thomas himself talking about the conversation he had with Kevin McHale when Kevin McHale is walking off the court. But the players didn't talk to each other. So said Isiah Thomas. There was no conversation, man. The Lakers didn't do that, man. The Celtics didn't do that. The Celtics just got up and walked off. They didn't say nothing to us. Oh, really? Oh, really? You said it yourself. Kevin McHale, he congratulated them. He said, don't be happy to get there. Go there and win it. Now, in 1988, the Pistons got to the finals. They lost to the Lakers in a 7-game series. And they got back to the finals in '89. And he's reflecting back to what Kevin McHale told him. So he's basically saying, hey, I think the year before, we really kind of took it for granted and whatever. And maybe we were just too happy to be there. But now we back. I understand what Kevin McHale was saying to me. So what are you talking about? All the stuff you've been saying is lies. The Celtics, they didn't do it out of disrespect. I'm going to read something real quick from Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge was on the Zach Lowe podcast a few years ago. I'm going to read you real quick what he said about this particular game in 1988. And he is dispelling the lie by Isiah Thomas. This is the reference is Zach Lowe podcast. He did this a couple years ago. And Danny Ainge is talking about the comparison between them and the Pistons. And this is what he said, quote, he said, I don't think it's a fair comparison because there was no plan. We had never done that before to any team, Ainge explained. Yeah, we had a good rivalry with Detroit, but I mean, Detroit had earned our respect. We were more than fortunate to beat Detroit in 87, and then for them to win in 88, they were justified. They were the better team. I don't remember having any hatred towards them. That's what he said. We weren't going to say, wish them well. I think it simply has to do with it was just such a long walk back to the tunnel in Detroit, and we left before the buzzer sounded just for our own safety. And the one guy that was still on the court was Kevin McHale. And Kevin did stop and talk to Isiah. End quote. That is Danny Ainge talking about that moment, that game. It was not a disrespectful thing, anything like that. It was for safety reasons. And I'm going to continue what he said. There wasn't a coordinated effort in any way, shape, or form other than the safety of the players, Ainge added. Unlike Detroit, who game planned to snub the Bulls as they walked by for whatever reason. I don't think it's even close to being the same. End quote. And there you have it. And then there was a trainer for the Celtics at that time. His name was John Jennings. He posted a tweet. And I'm going to read the tweet. And what he said. Watching The Last Dance, Isiah was dead wrong about the Celtics walking off the court in 1988. Coaches had Larry, Kevin, Robert, and DJ leave due to security reasons. Thousands rushed the floor at the Silverdome after we had lost. It had nothing to do with losing the series. End of tweet. Thousands of fans. That is the reason why they left. So when y'all hear Isiah Thomas in his interviews, oh man, the Celtics did it to us, man. They just got up and walked off. No. It was not a disrespectful thing like y'all did. Y'all were just mad and bitter because the Chicago Bulls, who y'all didn't like, they beat y'all ass and they embarrassed y'all. You know what I'm saying? They embarrassed y'all. And you couldn't take it. You wasn't man enough to just say, hey, man, a quick little handshake. Hey, y'all were the better team. Good luck to y'all, man. Maybe we'll try to get better or whatever. You couldn't do that. You wasn't man enough to do it. And so you made your own bed. And see, the problem is with Isiah Thomas, he is mad and upset because history is not favorable to the Detroit Pistons. Let me explain to you people, because I'm of age and I was living during that time. I was in like junior high, going into high school and stuff like that. So I was old enough to know what was going on at that time and in America and the world and stuff like that. The Detroit Pistons were not a well-liked champion. Yes, the fans had to respect them because they did win the championship. They had to go through the hurdles of beating the Celtics and the Lakers when they got old and injured, But they did finally beat them, and they beat the Bulls when the Bulls were young and stuff like that. So you had to respect them, but they were not a well-received, they were not a well-liked champion. Therefore, they are not remembered favorably in history. When people talk about their time period, they speak about the Showtime Lakers, the Celtics. They'll even talk about Dr. J in the early 80s, and then they go right to Michael Jordan. Because the Pistons, the way they played, outside of the Detroit metropolitan area, they didn't have many fans around America. Us as fans, the NBA fans, hated the Pistons because of the way they played. And Isiah Thomas, the ringleader of the team, this is the route they chose to go by to win their championships. And so this is how history is treating him. And he can't take it. Nobody cares about the Pistons or nothing. So he can go around and lie and try to, change history or whatnot, but it is what it is. And Michael Jordan, he spoke about that. He did a quick interview. He did an interview, and I want to read to you what he said. And this is very, very profound, what he said. And I think it's an interview he did in 1992, but it sums up the Pistons. He said, quote, "It was their style of basketball," said Jordan. "If you knock a person down on a hard foul, you pick that man up and say, 'Are you all right?' The Pistons will knock you down, then, if possible, kick you. Then try to use that crap as an intimidator. The evil came out of their attitude, the unsportsmanlike actions. The bad boy image brought them some gold, but it also brought them a lot of shame." And that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, y'all won the championships, and we have to respect that, those couple years, but it brought y'all shame. It didn't bring y'all any respect with the other players, and history is not remembering them favorably. And so Isiah Thomas is upset about that. That's what he's mad about. It's Bird, it's Magic, it's Kareem, it's Dr. J, it's Michael Jordan. And then history keeps going, to Shaq and Kobe Lakers and the Warriors and all the other dynasties. Nobody cares about Detroit because of the actions and the style of play. They had to do what they had to do to win, but it came with a price. And the price is nobody cares. They're not remembered. Other than hardcore basketball historians, the normal, average, casual fan don't even know hardly who Isiah Thomas is. They don't know anything about the Pistons. And so he's going around lying on all these podcasts and stuff, trying to disparage Michael Jordan's name. But sorry, buddy. Michael Jordan is going to be remembered forever. What he did in the 90s cannot be touched. You can try to lie, whatever, homeboy, but nobody cares about you. And the Chicago Bulls are going to be remembered forever. What them 6 championships are cemented in history, and that's that. The Showtime Lakers, what they did in the 80s, being the team of the 80s, that is cemented in history. They won 5 championships. Larry Bird and the Celtics, cemented in history. Nobody's going to ever forget what they did in the 80s. And see, that little 2-year window y'all won, nobody cares. Nobody cares. So when Isiah Thomas goes to sleep at night, it hurts his heart. And he mad because nobody cares. Nobody remembers you. But that's your own fault. Y'all the one decided to play that style of play. And then when you got beat, you fools walked off like cowards. And so you're not remembered favorably. So that's that. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to speak about that. I know this video is a little lengthy, but all the videos will be in the description. And the Game 6 in 1988 is a very, very important clip in NBA history because what it does, it dispels the lie of Isiah Thomas, what he's going around saying. That's not true. Even when the Pistons won in 89, it was sportsmanship. If you go back and look at the video, Magic Johnson came in the locker room with the Pistons and shook everybody's hand and hugged everybody and stuff like that. Isiah Thomas was his friend. And even the Pistons in 1989, when they won their first championship, Kareem was walking off the court. That was his last game. He was 42 years old. They stood up and gave him a standing ovation. So how was there not any sportsmanship or any class, anything like that? Everybody just went their own separate way. Oh, man, F y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? No, it wasn't like that. It was a tough league. It was a physical league. But when the game was over, it was always respect. And that was that. Even if he was a bitter rival, there was a respect there. And the Pistons showed No respect for the Chicago Bulls. None. I know he said, Michael Jordan said they were undeserving champions or whatever. I don't agree with that with Michael Jordan. They deserved it. They won, but they're just not remembered favorably. That's all. They deserved the 2 championships they won. They won. But history is not shining bright on the Pistons. Nobody cares outside of the city of Detroit. And that's what burns Isiah Thomas. And it's going to burn him to the day he dies. And it burns him that Michael Jordan came to his hometown, and Michael Jordan is going to be remembered forever in his hometown. And in his hometown of Chicago, he is despised. And Michael Jordan is going to be remembered more favorably than him in his hometown. And that eats at him. That is the root of the problem. So that's that. So I just want to bring a little truth. I lived during that time period. And it's not a lot of video evidence and stuff because the NBA took it down. But this clip here is very important. Y'all check it out. And you'll see Isiah Thomas is an effing liar, man. All this clown do is go on podcasts and interviews and lie. You can see for yourself. You'll see it yourself. All the articles and the videos will be in the description. Y'all can go through them yourself and you make your own decision. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. I appreciate y'all listening, man, checking me out. I'll catch y'all on the next episode. God bless. Y'all be good. I'm out.